Greetings, heroes and Force users. Welcome back to Inside the Tauntaun, a podcast in the multiverse of fandom. I'm Alyssa Simmons, and I'm joined today by my pal, Daniel Dawson.
Hello there.
And today we are continuing our Andor Season 2 discussion. This is episodes 4 through 6, and by God, we're Star Wars fans.
I don't know who you are or where you came from.
I am Iron.
I thought they smelled bad. On the outside.
Smells like a new car in here.
Inside the Tauntaun, this is our opening song. Alyssa, Daniel, Dino, talking nerd stuff, come along. Inside the Tauntaun podcast, please like and subscribe.
Oh, look it. It's us two gays here to talk about the gay episode of Star Wars. That's why Dino was not invited today.
That's right. He's just like, oh, I've got family stuff to take care of.
can't
Sure
come,
you do, Dino.
you
Sure.
little liar.
Can it, you little liar?
Oh my
yeah.
God. Well,
This episode was for us.
It
This episode
was.
was for us. We also learned that apparently the lesbians are the rebels and the gays are the Imperials.
the emperors.
The Emperors.
The emperors.
We all knew that Pepperty was gay as hell.
We knew it.
We knew it. But
Yeah.
wow.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well,
Something
I guess
for everyone in this show.
Yeah. So I wasn't on your discussion for episodes 1 through 3.
Yeah, did you listen to our 12-hour episode?
I actually didn't. Was it that? Was it really long?
No, we were. It was funny. We joked, but we also gave ourselves a pat on the back because like
You're able to
Sans Alyssa episode being under an hour and a half is it's good. But yeah, it was a cute hour and a half.
Yeah, if you listen to this podcast frequently, you know that I'm usually the one at about an hour mark. that I say,
This time.
okay, well, anything else you two want to say?
Because we should end it.
Because this is so long, and everyone stopped listening already.
Just imagining all the listeners with guns to their head, be like, "End it! Come on!"
It's 60, 03, 04.
Can't take it anymore. Thank God it's over.
No, I didn't listen to it, but I'm sure it was wonderful.
Oh, certainly, yes. But we were. It's funny. We did make numerous references to you because we were just curious about what your thoughts were. I guess do you want to give us a cute
Yeah, I'll give you my 1 through 3 generals. I guess
really general.
Make
it super general because I don't want to hear anything else.
All right, you got it. Well, I loved season.
It's
1
already too long.
Andor.
Alyssa.
Oh my God,
it's already too long.
I loved season 1 of Andor a lot.
Yeah.
I felt like tonally the first 3 episodes were actually really different from season 1.
Sure.
I was like, I get the same kind of general underneath pulsing the rebellion is starting and this is what it is.
Especially compared to how the first season started.
Oh yeah.
Because the first season started was a very slow burn build up.
So we're just right out the gate, quite intense.
Yeah.
Never did I ever think that we would deal with sexual violence in
oh my
Star
God,
Wars.
Sexual assault. Right. Whoa.
So that was alarming for me because I didn't know that was coming, and I did not see a world in which that was coming.
Yeah.
So that was
it makes
really
me
dark.
so nervous for if they're willing to go there, then
and within
nothing
the
is
same...
sacred. We're all there's no safety.
Yeah.
There's no safety anymore in Star Wars. which is great.
Yeah, it is the thing that we loved. At least I can speak for myself. The thing that I loved so much about season 1 of Andor was that it felt like a new type of Star Wars. It felt
fresh,
still like Star Wars, but something interesting, a new point of view,
unique.
So yeah, I certainly didn't think that we would get that type of violence, and then rich people Mon Mothma raving
All
for
the
her
while.
life in the same episode, which was wild.
An interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah. But I loved all the made up traditional wedding things that occurred at that.
I can't even tell you how many times I thought about you just because anytime that there's a made up tradition of any sort, I know that Alyssa is
I'm gonna have feelings about it.
Because we can fast forward a little bit into the current episodes where they were the way that they clapped on their chest. I was like, I know this is bothering Alyssa. I know it. I'm certain of it.
Well, I think that honestly, I had been so desensitized by the grown-up Lost Boys in the first 2 episodes of this season.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't care for that storyline. It felt bad to me.
Yeah. It was a very frustrating section of the show. I
understand that it was supposed to be.
We were supposed to feel frustrated.
We were supposed to feel frustrated. They completely foiled his plans and they were idiots. All of them were absolute idiots. So
buffoons.
I understand that part of it, but I just was like, ooh, the rock, paper, scissors of it all was really...
I'm going to punch someone in the
really tough
effing ears.
But we got out of there, and hopefully I never have to see those guys again.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, they're going to show up when I least expect it.
No, but it's been a year since then, and I would be very surprised if any of those guys have survived a year.
I don't think they have. They've killed each other. They've all killed each other.
Probably the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Safe to assume they're all dead.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I still, despite that, I was still enjoying myself. Yeah, so obviously I'm off my generals now, but that was generally how I felt about the first 3 episodes. Enjoyed myself, didn't care for the Lost Boys.
Yep.
Was shocked by the rich people rave / the sexual violence.
Right. That's very good generals.
But I will say now, I'll just go right into my generals for
4,
these
5, and 6.
episodes. This felt like season 1 energetically to me.
We're kind of back to the rhythm of Andor.
And I classic. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I watched them all back to back.
There's kind of this heisty / political drama / with a dash of romance, which that part is maybe a little new.
That is new.
Leaning harder into the romance of it all.
Yeah, with Bex and Cassian, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very much doing
and the
lesbians.
My God.
Yeah.
Although I knew it. I was like, you're kissing.
We knew it.
You're kissing, you're gonna die now.
They're dead. If not both of them, at least one.
God forbid we get more than one lesbian kiss in one season. They're like,
and
nope.
They can't be alive.
Yeah, no. So because that's the thing. So they needed a reason for them to not ever kiss again, and the only way to do that is to kill them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was so thrilled. We'll just talk about it now, and then we can move on with our lives. I was so thrilled.
We're talking what's important to us, and this was important.
It was, and but the second that they actually kissed, I was like,
lips.
All right, one of them's goner. One of them's a goner.
It's just as bad. It's we've talked about this and joked about this before, but it's when you have a wife and husband with a baby, and then they name the baby, and you're like, oh, yep, one of them's dead.
Yeah,
or the baby's dead. Somebody's dead.
Somebody's dead.
Yeah, you just I named him after you because whatever it is.
Yeah,
because you just are trying to make it more sad for us. How dare you?
I will say though,
did this succeed? Did it make you sad?
It did make me sad. I think just given their history last season too, and how they have been apart all of this time, and Luthen, man, he is. I mean, we knew he was a complicated guy.
Super complicated.
Last season, but the way that he is manipulating and trying to work all of these people, his little
pulling so many threads,
chess pieces, and so on and so forth. It's yeah, I get it, but these are people, and that these are people that have feelings and
it just I mean, like, it's proving to me how like very not ready I would be for a rebellion. Like how I would be
same
so
with
bad at it. I would be so bad at rebelling. Because like because like you can't it's interesting because there are some you know parallels with like the way of the Jedi, you know, in the sense where you kind of have to like put attachment and love aside because it like clouds your mind and your judgment, and in this case it's Luthen is like he basically like went over to this girl's house being like, I'm just checking on him, but you know he was thinking in the back of his head like, I'm just making sure that we don't need to kill you right now. Like
that was really scary.
It was so scary. But like
and to have like, you know, Cassian as well to be like, he knew that we would talk about this, so what's going on?
Because he's like he's doing experiment, he's like testing as if they're like, you know, lab mice or something, you know.
And to have Cinta be so injured and not let, is it Vel, is that her name?
Yes,
Vel? That feels like what her name is.
It sounds like
it's Vel name. Good job, Alyssa.
Yeah, you did
it. To have them also be making that realization of, okay, well, he should have at least said something,
right,
to both of us. Like,
but it turns out they're not friends.
Turns out they're not friends. He does not care about any of them.
And that's the cold hard truth of a rebellion like this, you know, like there is no room, at least in his mind, there is no room for frivolities. I mean, like, you know, when a rebellion is as fragile as it currently is in the show, you kind of do like understand where he's coming from, at least. I mean, I not necessarily agree with it because I think there is strength in you know, caring for each other and you know, because you fight harder for the ones you love.
Well, and that's the whole point, right? Like that's the whole point of like of a rebellion is to save
empathy. You have empathy for the people. Yeah,
to save people.
You know, he would argue that you know Luthen does have empathy, but it is like it's very not selective. It's just more grand. It's for the greater common good, as opposed to like just for my good friend Cassian. You know, because that's and you know, even with the speech the last season, the speech to end all speeches,
the big one,
the big one, which we just learned interestingly that he had an in-ear getting fed lines because he had like a stroke or something. Is that right?
Yeah, he had a stroke, I think not even a full calendar year before season 1 was filmed. So he
blows
was really
my mind.
Nervous about memorizing his lines, obviously.
And he knew that it was a really good monologue. He's like, he knew that it was good,
and I'm sure that just like freaked him out even more.
A lot of pressure.
That's always the way it is. When you know it's like the biggest moment, you're like, okay, this is all writing on the exact words that they have written that I need to say and convey in the way that they want me to convey it. So,
but yeah, it's just like kudos to him, because I mean, like as an actor, like it is very impressive to do a monologue, period, and to do it well, but to also having it be fed into your brain, like you know, and have it also look like natural, like, because you could have. I mean, he did fool me.
Yeah.
I did not think that was the case.
No, I didn't either. So what were your generals of episodes 4 through 6?
4 through 6.
Yes.
Generally, I liked it. I think whether or not I liked, I do. I think I liked these episodes. I think not by a long shot, but I think I did enjoy 4, 5, and 6 more than 1, 2, and 3. I think.
Yeah, I would say that's the same for me too.
We're kind of maybe just getting back into the rhythm. Yeah.
Right. Well, we needed we needed kind of the exposition of 1, 2, and 3 to remember exactly
what the hell,
what is going on, and
what's
now
important.
Yeah. Okay, so generally you liked it. Did you?
Generally, yes. I am finding myself like really leaning in because and I like this as we've talked about this in the last episode too, is that Andor like the writers treat us like we're smart people.
Yes.
Sometimes to a fault, because like I guess I am not as smart as I think I am sometimes.
Were there some things that you like missed, or you're like, I have to go back and rewatch that again, or
maybe, yeah, or at least just be like, am I understanding this right? Is like which is cool, and I like that because it's because it isn't always obvious.
Yeah, I would say particularly with Cyril's storyline.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, because there's like, it's not like he's like acting like a double agent in a way, but like
but like kind of like a triple agent, because he's like got his job, and then he's like now working for SBI and then or ISB, sorry.
ISB, yes.
And then now also working with the Gormans, like, I mean, trying to at least gain their trust to. But yeah, I mean, things are happening with his acting choices as well that I'm like, are you a little bit not sure where your loyalties lie?
I'm so happy we're on the same page, because I literally, this last episode, sorry, the 1, 2, and 3, I said, you know, like, this is my super wild theory that I'm throwing out there. I think, because I'm just like in my head trying to figure out like why they're making I mean, obviously it's funny and like awkward and weird to watch their like weird relationship. Like, you know, the mother, and just like, is like, but why are they putting so much weight, giving it so much weight in the show? Like, why are we like, it kind of feels like they're trying to make us root for these characters in an interesting way. And it's working, because I do care about, like, in a sick, twisted way, I kind of want Dedra and Cyril to succeed, because I'm like, yeah, go for you. You're doing a great job. You know what I mean? Like, you've worked hard. You deserve this.
Come on, just let him win for once. Well, I mean, to have both of them kind of like in their fall from grace, like be in these positions now.
The fall from your sister, Grace.
Yes, they've all fallen from her. She's enormous. Morbidly obese, that girl.
She really is.
No, you could literally flick her away.
Strong wind.
Wow. Speaking of that, did you know that like it's been so windy in China that they have like an actual like warning that people under a certain amount of weight like should not go outside?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
really?
Because they're like, no, you could absolutely get blown away.
You mean like right now or something?
Yeah, right now.
That's wild. Wow.
I don't know in what region, but like I saw this like news thing.
Just imagine these poor little Chinese people.
Just like,
no way, jeez.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
To watch them both kind of like in these positions where they're like, so they were both essentially demoted,
right?
But are still on the inside somewhat, or like they know that like they just have to trust the process of them being demoted for the time being,
right? But also, like,
that's what I was thinking, like, until this this last episode where they were like with what's his head,
Krennic,
with Partagast. Yeah.
Yes, which sounds like a dwarf name from Lord of the Rings, you know, or it's like more like Radagast is what I'm thinking. No, that's the wizard. Yeah,
totally.
But
but having him be like, okay, yeah, good job, Cyril.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna now send people in, blah blah blah.
But interestingly, they're still like keeping it secret from Cyril. Like, he doesn't know exactly what's going on.
Right.
So okay, here's what I was saying.
What was your
1,
like
2, 3.
theory?
Yeah. So I was like, here comes my crazy theory, Dita. I was like, I think that one or both of these people are going to turn on the Empire.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay, great. And it kind of feels like it's going to be at least Cyril.
Feels like it's going to be
Yeah, and if it's not just Cyril, it'll be both of them.
Just because he's like removed from it in a way that Dedra isn't. Like she's still working with all of those people on a day-to-day.
Right.
He's
and
like
she has the
rank and everything.
Well, yes, but I was gonna not the drive, but the they even used the word in this and it's the folly of all the people in the Empire and the Sith. It's that they have that word ...
Oh, when she's talking to the one guy about like the glory of it,
the
like
glory,
that,
sure,
yes.
yeah. Like I'm looking for the glory and the fame, the fortune, whatever it is. Yes, like you can tell that she wants that. She wants to feel that unlimited power. So, So whether or not she can let go of that will be the deciding factor, I think, of whether or not she can turn to the good side.
I loved that scene with I think it was in the first or the second episode with her and his mother. That was
oh my god, it is absolute
that was
gold.
Really something.
Rich. And then him just laying on the bed,
and
poor
just
guy.
laying on the bed like a poor little
He's like,
kid.
please just tell me when it's over. I
hate this one.
Oh man. But I'm glad
like
you agree.
He is potentially going to be conflicted because he's there in working with the Gormans.
Yeah, I'm sure he's confused as hell because he's playing both sides right now. I mean, I think probably in his head, at least what I gather is that like I'm doing this for you, Dedra, because I love you. It's not because like for the Empire. I don't think he's insane.
I do think that like the stuff that he was saying to the Gormans about like you have no idea what they're capable of and like what they will do to get what they want.
Well, here is an interesting. I was going to say an interesting like psychology thing, and I don't know if this is what they're going with, but I mean that scene between the mother and Dedra, like both being the mom is this overbearing, like classic overbearing mom, like talks down to his son and makes him feel like he's less than nothing. Like Dedra's not too far off, and oftentimes boys will grow up to marry their moms, basically.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's a thing. I mean, just in general, people
that
say
is a
like
general thing.
You date or you partner
for better
with
or for worse, but
usually
similar
to one of your parents. Yeah.
Yes. So I think that there are some definite similarities, and because she is a strong ass woman who is willing to tell Cyril exactly what to do, and I think in some way, like Cyril, like. Maybe he feels like he needs it, or like maybe he wants it. Maybe it turns him on. Who knows? But like he's just like she walks. When he walks in to the room, and she said, "Turn off the lights." You know what I mean? Like just like ordering
whoa.
him. I'm now going to sex you up.
And she had him followed.
Right. So there's I think that there's like. Maybe a little distrust brewing. And
there's some interesting power dynamic there.
Maybe he's gonna eventually like have this moment where like, it's not just it's as a rebellion against like, overbearing parents or wives, you know what I mean? Whatever that is. So that'll be an interesting parallel story, in a weird way. But yeah, I like it. It's cool.
Yes, I agree.
And then there's gays. You know what? Oh, I was gonna. We're well past generals at this point, but
that's right. We're going into it.
A very general thing that I liked. I'm like, ooh, do I think this could be one of my favorite like aesthetics, Star Wars aesthetics that we've experienced so far. The Gorman vibe. It's kind of cute.
You like it?
Yeah, I think I'm into it. Like the nice, like clean lines, but it still has warmth because there's like wood and like it's sort of like spacey Art Deco-y, but
there's definite mid-century like,
modern. Yeah, I like it.
It's I texted both Dino and Daniel this like watching this show because they used mostly practical sets.
Oh man.
And it just looks and feels
beautiful.
So nice. I mean, that hotel room that like Cassian in
I want
Gorman,
to go there.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Gorge.
Like, beautiful. Yeah, the whole Gorman thing is really, really cool, and I was obsessed with their
and the fashion
made up language. The
yeah,
fashion
same.
and made up language, which I was like, at first I was like, is it just French? And I was
it
like,
does
no,
kind of
it's
feel,
not.
It feels very French heavy at the very least.
Yeah, so I did a little research.
Splendid, good, because I didn't.
the dialect coach on the show, their name is Marina Tyndall, and they created,
God bless you,
the language.
Created it. Wow.
Yes, it is inspired by French phonetics with some elements possibly borrowing from Slavic languages as well.
I just can't imagine like the process of doing that, but also as an actor, like you know, learning a completely made up language and making it real. Like, man, my brain.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this language is that it's primarily a spoken language. Like a lot of times when they have linguists or dialect coaches create things like this for TV, they obviously write everything first, and then it's spoken. But this already has two different types of written forms. High Gore, which is called Gorel.
Hi Gore.
Hi Gore.
How you doing?
Happy Pride, Gore. Or Dixian, which is low Gore.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
I ain't
signage.
just whistling Dixie.
there's signage all over the Gorman set that has that. But this is not the first time that sort of like French inspiration or French phonetics has made used its way in Star Wars.
Yeah. Like we've got some in the cartoons even, haven't we?
Yeah. So it definitely in Clone Wars, like the where is that? Boop boop boop.
Where is that? Boop boop boop.
That's okay, let me find this.
But where is
that boop?
That boop boop boop. I wish I knew where. If I knew where the boop 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 was, then
all right. French,
I would know what French
means. So we have in Skeleton. I think you filled the whole entire thing, and it was so interesting. Thank you. So in Skeleton Crew, which we just saw, they're the young heroes that when they're in that war-torn planet,
right? They
all speak in the really thick French accent. But in Clone Wars,
right?
There's a lot of the Resistance people are like French coded,
mm-hmm.
And Star Wars Rebels, all the Twi'lek Resistance on Ryloth, they speak in a French accent.
Totally.
Which apparently was a George Lucas thing.
Oh, interesting.
So Lucas always wanted to bring, French inspiration into Star Wars. He's a huge World War II nerd.
Yes.
And obviously like the dogfighting scenes in A New Hope or, Les Resistance is.
Oh yeah. No, he's making direct.
Yeah.
References. I mean, we're talking about like space Nazis for goodness sakes.
Right.
It's,
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's this article, which is on /film.com, talking about the dialect.
The space Nazis invading space France.
Yes. Says it's why it's so easy to sympathize with the Gorman's plight, as we quickly recognize the real world allegory in this plot line. Mm-hmm. Sadly, we know Gorman has already suffered one massacre in the past, and based on the Empire's plans for them, the future is looking anything but bright.
Imagine killing 500 people just because you wanted a place to park your car.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
Pretty wild stuff.
I know that there are times, when you're like in the Best Buy parking lot looking for a parking space,
that you're like, what I wouldn't give.
But I just don't feel like, I would kill 500 people, let alone,
And it was Grand Moff Tarkin, right?
Right.
Tarkin was the one that led that whole massacre.
Get out of my way, guys. I need to park my car. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
You asked for it.
But I really I loved all of those details of this new language, and they hired obviously all French speaking actors
that makes a lot more sense,
play the Gormans, so that
it came a little bit easier to them.
Like phonetically, and those sounds and stuff are just gonna
roll right off the tongue.
Roll right off their little French tongues.
I'm just imagining myself being like, just tripping over everything. Oh, man. What is that song? Anyway.
We are back to some really intense Andor anxiety in that scene where she's trying to remove the listening device.
Oh my God, yes. I'm trying to cut back on biting my nails, actually. Like, I got a manicure. Fucking ruined it.
You
so
just
upset.
Chewed right through those suckers.
Yeah, man. I was so nervy.
Yeah, I mean, from the moment you know that she's going to try to make that happen, while they are all in that room,
it's like there could have been another time.
No, it had to be then, I guess.
No.
They love making us feel like that on
like,
this show.
It's got to be more exciting, and it was.
It really was. I stress ate like a whole bowl of pasta while I was watching that.
Like, yeah, for sure. I like it was kind of it was so much to take in, because like, you know, you're anxiously watching her try to do this, but all the while you're having this like really thoughtful conversation between Krennic and Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Like this sort of like playful but like very serious
diggy
argument.
Yeah.
About like, you know, like what is right about, you know, plundering people's cultures and things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I'm like actively trying to listen to them, but I'm so distracted by what's going on with her, and it's it was really, really fun, but not fun in a way.
Yeah, it was a brilliant scene.
Yeah,
that I could have watched for much longer, but it was the right amount of time, I think.
And some cool lore, which I love, because that this show does a lot of like really interesting, but not like the way that they lore drop. Like Star Wars lore drop is fun, because it doesn't feel, it's not flippant, but it just is like it's just like a little touch. It's not like they don't lean into it super hard. It's just enough to kind of like tantalize your taste buds, because I do love that kind of stuff, and it makes me want to know more about, like, when like the last season they talked about the oh gosh, what are they called? When he gave him the little crystal that was around his neck that he's like, this is worth, you know, more than your life or something. I don't but the Rakatan invaders, something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? And then like you go into Wikipedia, you're like, oh right, that was like a thing from the video game that's now like a little bit.
Yeah.
But like with the it came from like a planet where they thought that like blindness was a blessing, and that
it was celebrated, and
so interesting. Yeah. I want to know all about that. I don't know if I need a full show, but like
but at least something.
Yeah, very cool. Neat lore drop.
So I guess we should talk about like the main kind of like plot points here. We've got
What is this show about?
So what the hell is this show about? Well, obviously in episode 4, in episode 4 we jump forward a full year,
right,
from episode 3. So we have Cassian and Bix living on Coruscant and working as operators for Luthen.
Right. This is your mission if you choose to accept it. Yes.
We've got the Empire building an armory, quote unquote, on Gorman.
And okay, now help me out. The armory is being built by the Empire, and that's like something that the I'm confused, so I'm piecing this all together. Yes. Like the small group that Krennic is running, that's not their project. They're just using that. Like they're using it. They're like, oh, they're using it to their benefit. Like, correct. So they can Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, we've got, both Cyril and Dedra working on this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Cyril
Luthen
doesn't really 100% know why.
no.
Only that he
And
knows that it's going to help the Empire to some degree.
to some degree. Then we've got Cassian being sent there. That was fun watching him do this other, this spy.
This fashion designer.
That was fun.
Yeah, very flamboyant and fun. It was like very new vibe that we haven't seen of him.
Yeah. But he kind of writes off the whole thing and is just like, they're not ready. They don't know what they're doing.
They're messy. They're too desperate. It's
not something. He basically tells Luthen, like, I'm going to sit this one out. It's not.
And it turns out he's right. But, well, I don't know. So what was again, Cassian currently is playing like he can only kind of see, not necessarily like what's right in front of him, but kind of. Because like what Luthen explains later in the episode, not like blatantly, but he basically like says like, well, if it doesn't go well, he's like, then like and everybody dies. But he doesn't say that, but I mean, like he's thinking that if it becomes really bad and a lot of people die, great. He's like, that's only going to make the rebellion even that much more intense because people are going to be like, fuck the Empire, I can't believe they did that and killed all those people. So like which is dark and very sad.
It's really dark.
But they're both right. But
I know it's complicated.
Very complicated.
And then we've got Saw Gerrera coming in, who's also scary motherfucker.
Yeah,
Jeez
man.
Louise. Like, I mean, we know Saw in
loose cannon
in Clone Wars,
and then we know him in cannon ?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. I mean, at the end of this last episode, I was like, geez Louise, he might just be like absolutely insane.
Out of his mind. But like he clearly knows what's going on. I mean, he clocked that the Imperial spy almost immediately. And we watch that scene again, you can see the moment when it happens. And it's like, and the shift that he has. And it's such a cool thing. Yeah, good actor guy.
Yeah, good job.
He's gonna go places.
So he is working with what's that guy's name?
Oh gosh, I know it. It's good old acquaintance be forgot. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Should old acquaintance be forgot? Keep your eye on the grand old flight.
Saw's Willman. Yeah, so Willman is teaching Pluty, who Daniel just mentioned.
He says it like Willman.
Pluty ends up being the Imperial spy, and Saw blasts him.
Oops. We also find out that well, I guess it hasn't been 100% confirmed, but it feels like that's where they're headed. Because I mean, I think we all just assumed that Saw Gerrera got into some big accident, and that's why he needed like a breathing apparatus.
Yeah,
but like
turns out
just keeps on breathing in gas fumes all
stuff.
the time.
That's a little concerning.
But honestly, I empathize because I am one of those weird people that really likes the smell of gas.
Smell? Yeah, we got some like Star Wars drug use in the
lots of Star Wars drug use.
We've got.
I mean, we've had Star Wars drug use before, but like very brief.
Different.
I don't know. You want some death sticks?
right. This feels different because Bex
feel different.
Self-medicating. She's still experiencing these horrific nightmares of Gorst.
And it also kind of feels like a potential foreshadowing of her later fate, potentially.
I think so too.
Like she might lose herself too far. Might get too deep in, and like I don't know if Cassian is going to be the one that's going to have to do it, but like somebody's going to put her out to pasture. If she doesn't do it herself,
it feels that way.
Yeah.
Then we've got obviously the plot line of Clea learning that Skolden is furious because he thinks that one of his art pieces is a forgery.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we've got a bug on one of those pieces. We
got to check every single one.
So, boop, boop, boop. Cyril reports back to Coruscant about the news of the heist, and they're like, okay, we're going to try to figure this out. Then, what do we got here?
And then what?
Well, we've got the reunion with Vel and Cinta.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that already. And, they're there
doomed from
on
the
Gorman, going to help them figure out this kind of weapons heist to do that. The heist
because basically Luthen was just like, well, Cassian, if you're not going to do it, then I'll find somebody else. And
do it.
Immediately.
My other expendables, throw them into the line of fire.
Truly.
So the heist is successful. Like, it's fully
relatively
done.
speaking.
And then, as we mentioned, Cinta is accidentally killed by one of the fighters.
Oops. Oh my gosh. And her fucking monologue she gives afterwards.
Okay, so that actor, have you watched Adolescence on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
She's on it. She's freaking
I'm pretty
brilliant.
sure this is my first meeting of my first impression of this person. I think.
Well, I mean, she was on last season.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, this show.
Just Andor in general.
Yes.
Yes. Her monologue about, because the guy that accidentally kills her is crying.
Oh my God.
She's
like, don't
just
you
like,
dare
no,
cry.
You don't get to do that. And the fact that this is how she died, like this most like dishonorable, like an accident after everything that she's lived through,
and so much
this be the way that, like,
just thinking of the hours and hours of training and all the knowledge that she has, the specialty stuff that she knows how to do, just completely wasted by this like stupid idiot. But I mean, it could have been anybody though. That's the sad part about it. It's just like, it's such an ordinary thing. Which which reminds us all that everybody's life in this show is so fragile. So and that's good. It makes it it makes it more real.
The stakes feel really high.
Yeah.
Always.
But and I think that it's interesting because I mean she's obviously in a lot of pain, and she's like there's part of this where I think that she's helping her cope. But I think oh my God, Maggie just farted, and it's so bad.
Maggie,
wow! Oh my God!
What the heck has she been eating?
Like father, like son.
Maggie.
Whoa!
Oh God.
She's feeling ill, I think. So
now you're feeling ill.
Yeah. Now So what the hell was I even saying? Yeah. So I do feel like she's it wasn't just like it's not just for her sake of like her way of mourning or whatever, but I think it's like she's like, how do I turn this into like a growth moment? You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna turn this kid into like a warrior, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna so like you are gonna carry this for the rest of your life, and you're gonna like everything that you do from now on is going to be making up for this moment. So don't you fucking forget, you know what I mean? And honestly, I think that's like so powerful and so sad, but like, but and for better or for worse, because I'm very interested to see what happens with this kid, because like, that kind of pressure can make or break someone. And if, he could either take
the whole thing too, like he was not meant to have a blaster.
Right.
Like, you remember she was like, no, we like Cinta and I will be the only ones that have blasters
with guns. Yeah.
Like everyone else, you do as we say. Like, if you can't follow the chain of command, walk now.
And they were right. They were right.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh God.
So yeah, I'm very curious to see where he goes, because I mean, they're either leading it to be like he's gonna make another big boo boo that's gonna make an even bigger oops, or he's gonna make up for it, and everybody's gonna be like, there, her at least her death wasn't in vain because you were the one who saved the day. I don't know, but probably not gonna be that, because Andor has been fucking sad so far. So
it has, really sad. And
we've
then
gotten a bit, kind of a large death, like in each section so far.
Mm-hmm. And then this last episode 6 that we've gotten, is Bix and Cassian breaking into Gorst's new office.
Right.
And killing him with his own torture method.
Yeah, which awesome.
Yeah, and then blowing up the building as they
I
walked
love
away.
it. And just
I was
like doing the classic like button press and
Yeah.
not even looking back, just like, yeah, we fucking did it.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It felt like they needed like a slow motion like rock song playing in the background.
Totally. The thing that I'm excited about is, and that they've these first 6 episodes were directed by the same person, Ariel Kleiman.
Ariel.
The first 3 were written by Tony Gilroy, and these last 3 were written by Beau Willimon.
Good old Beau.
And what we have to look forward to is that we've got 2 completely different teams for the next 6 episodes.
Fun.
So the next 3 are directed by Janusz Metz and written by Dan Gilroy. And then the last 3 are written by Alonso Ruiz Palacios.
Mm-hmm.
And directed by Alonso Ruiz Palacios and
directed by Gonzo.
Directed by Tom Bissell.
Just starring a bunch of chickens.
He would do that, little freak.
Yeah, he would.
So I like that they're doing that, because it feels like these like the show is in like 4 acts.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like we had Act 1, which was the first 3 episodes. We just got Act 2. And
it is interesting to me though, because like it's in other iterations of Star Wars that has been to their detriment, is having this
having it feel clunky in that way.
Yeah, where there's not like a nice, where everything is sort of the same vibe. And I think in most recent memory, the sequel films being directed and written by completely different people each time was like such a cold shower for everybody. But I think it's
a testament to the showrunners, like their main executive producers and their on-set directors and everything, to have it still feel
they're running a tight ship. Yeah,
like it's all the same.
I mean,
thing.
I'm assuming Tony Gilroy is really just, I don't know if he's the whip cracker or anything, but yeah, you're right. It is a testament to them, because we have seen it go horribly wrong. And this one seems to be not so far. So far,
we cannot speak for the second half of the show, which I'm so stoked that we have 6 more episodes. Like
a whole other half.
That's so great.
It is not very often that I will sit down to consume like almost 3 hours of television like this. I mean, yeah. And without it's funny, like, because my ADD, I often will be like, I don't know, I get this kind of thing in my head. It feels like the show is getting towards the end of the episode, and then I'll press pause just to see how much time is left. Never did that once.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. In all 3 episodes too. Yeah. And I watched it at like midnight too. Because because yesterday I went to go see Revenge of the Sith.
How was that, watching that in theaters?
It was so fun.
Yeah.
I there's parts of me that were like happy and also sad, because I've seen a lot of videos of like on TikTok or whatever it is of some theaters that literally like all of the big memeable lines are like being recited by everybody in the audience.
Oh god.
Which I think would be insufferable, but also very fun. Like, I would love to experience it both ways. But last night it was a very quiet, very respectable
people were
audience.
just wanted to watch the movie. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people would giggle like at the moments that were like hilarious. Like, it's just like when Senator Palpatine goes, yeah. There
so
are
good.
very, very funny moments. But yeah, still fucking slaps. I tell you, like, that I mean, the reason why people like have memorized that entire last scene with Obi-Wan and Anakin is because it is absolute cinema. It is
it's amazing.
It's not necessarily the best written because it's cheesy as hell, but it's just glorious. The music, the background, the fights, the this and it is cinema.
Yes.
Sorry, but Andor.
So you watched Andor, those 3 episodes at midnight?
Yeah, basically. So like from 12 to 3 a.m. I was watching Andor.
Yeah.
And
I watched all 3 of them back to back too. And I
Yeah.
didn't like once. I wasn't like, maybe I'll take a little break. And
yeah. Oh,
like
I need a breather after that.
Yeah, really. Have of the 6 that we've gotten so far, do you have a favorite?
Oh, of each episode? Gosh, that's a hard question. Because because they are kind of like full movies. They do sort of really blend into each other.
Yeah,
that's a terrible excuse.
That's okay. You don't have to have a favorite.
I would say it's probably. I mean, probably the last episode that we got.
Yeah, I think I'd pick that one too.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just because like the overall like angst that I had, it really did have me literally on the edge of my seat. Yeah, watching it all go down was pretty cool. I also like seeing I think I would say is our first kind of legacy adjacent character. That was recast, interestingly enough.
That was, I mean,
General Organa. No, General?
Yes.
He's not a general yet. He's a
I think
just
he's
Senator Organa.
Senator Organa at the moment.
Yes.
But yeah, we got Benjamin Bratt here now playing.
And from what I understand, because I was like, oh God, he's not like because he's sick. It's not
okay.
He's just we actually don't really know what the thing was, but everybody suspects it was just because it was like a scheduling issue.
Oh, I would assume that it was that he just maybe looked a little bit too old. Now.
I mean, probably, but I mean, he literally was just in. I mean, not
he
just
did.
That,
yeah, you're right. He did Obi-Wan.
Right. Which I mean, it was still filmed like what 5 years ago or something, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, 5 years could do a lot to a guy.
It can.
But
I think Benjamin Bratt's a great choice. He's a great actor, and
totally.
If we see him again in that role, then I think
which is very plausible, I think.
Yeah.
And I but it does. It's great. It's a proof of concept. Granted, we haven't seen much else of him yet, and he's like, arguably a much less important character than, say, a person like this is not arguable. He is a much less important than like somebody like Luke or Leia.
Of course. Yeah.
But the fact that it does work for me,
it's good.
It's good. That is a good proof of concept.
Good sign.
And then, I like it is better than CGing somebody to look like somebody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. So I, take note.
For sure. Great. Well, those are all of my thoughts. Do you have anything else to add?
Well, what else would I like to talk about? I love to eat boysenberries, and that's why I grow them.
You took that as like a broad general question, just about discussions.
No, I really am enjoying just everything. The fashion in the last episode was really great too. Very cool.
all of Mon's gowns are just exquisite.
And just the chaos of Coruscant is cool too, because the the party scene was, oh my God, just to be in that room probably was so stressful. A lot of it obviously was, well, no, not obvious. I think a lot of it was practical. But yeah, that crazy like photography droid that came in, it was like it's just so neat. I think a lot of the tech that they're like, this really practical tech that they're doing is cool. And also this like they don't explicitly say that those Imperial guys are gay, but they're totally gay, right?
Absolutely.
Like, we're going to go get lunch together. Like, you know, they're kind of, they're gay.
They're gay. Yeah.
They're gay.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, you can take me to lunch. I was like, oh.
Okay. Okay.
Hey.
Yes. And I think that the other guy, they were the older gentleman too, that came up to them in the party. They kind of like alluded that he was also gay. I was like, are they
I was like,
gay?
is this everyone in the family? What is happening?
I'm thrilled.
Yeah. What a time.
Yeah. Just great. Well,
all right. Well, you heard it here. Star Wars is fully gay now, even though they killed.
Sorry,
they
straight.
killed somebody. Sorry,
nothing left for you.
No, this is really fun. We hope you're all enjoying it as much as we are.
It is wonderful.
And
I am going to see Thunderbolts later tonight. Very exciting.
Tonight?
Tonight's the night.
Dino and I are going tomorrow.
Oh, woo.
So,
and we'll have an episode about that. Probably.
Certainly. Yeah, that'll definitely be our next one, and then we'll hit the next
another
3 of Andor.
So.
Yeah. So
I will sadly be not present for that one because
Daniel's
I'm going on vacation.
He's going vacationing.
Yeah. I'm going to Nam.
Vietnam. He's traveling to Vietnam.
Yes.
All right, great. Well, that was Andor episodes, season 2, episodes 4 through 6. This is Inside the Tauntaun. I'm Alyssa Simmons.
And I'm Daniel Dawson.
May the force be with you. Always.
Inside the Tauntaun podcast, please like and subscribe.